Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. All right, part 2 of our video for our Pythagorean spirals. Here, I'm going to show you how to transfer some of your data from your triangles to your smaller table with the exact values to your larger table with the rounded values just for using the Pythagorean theorem. We're not using the inverse trig functions yet. All right, so what I did is I started my own spiral right here. Let's get this lined up. Now mine is bigger than what yours is going to be because mine is 3 inches by 3 inches. So I used my index card. Again, I put a little dot in the corner so I could see it. I measured 3 up for my height and 3 inches over for my base. I created my first triangle, my second triangle, and on my third triangle, so again, just as a reminder, you are going to line this H up, H for height, also like the hypotenuse. You are going to line that up on the previous triangle's hypotenuse. You want to line it up very, very exact as you can with the corner in the corner. And then put a little dot where the B is for the base. I want you to notice that it's bigger than what my card is. That will happen the further you go into yours. That's okay though. We are only using the card to make our right angle and for your 1 inch in, because remember yours is 1 inch. Mine's bigger. I'm using 3 inches just so we can see it. And I don't want to give you the answers to some of these. All right, so I'm going to connect my dots here. And then to the top there for the spiral. And then there's another right angle, and then this is triangle number 3. So let's look at how we can start filling out this table right here, because this table, we want the exact values, okay? So let's move our camera a little bit so we can see both of them. Now let's look at our first triangle. Remember, our first triangle, I used this right here. The base is 3 inches and the height is 3 inches. So my base is 3 inches, my height is 3 inches. Remember, your Pythagorean theorem is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So let's figure out what this will be. It's going to be 3 squared plus 3 squared equals c squared. So we get 9 plus 9 equals c squared. 18 equals c squared. So the square root of 18 equals c. We are not going to change that to the decimal form. We are going to leave it just like that for this right here, square root of 18. All right, we just did the first triangle because we said this was 3, this was 3, and this is the square root of 18. So now let's do triangle number 2. I'm going to switch colors for that one. Let's use pink. Now look at this triangle. This base, remember, I used my index card to measure that base. That base is still going to be 3 inches. This base is still 3 inches. I also want you to notice that the height of this triangle is the same as the hypotenuse of the previous triangle. So my height is square root of 18. So now let's do our Pythagorean theorem again. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. 3 squared plus the square root of 18 squared equals c squared. 9 plus 18 equals c squared, because the square undoes the square root. So 27 equals c squared. So c equals the square root of 27. Right there. So this was the square root of 27. All right, let's do my third triangle. Let's switch to green. I haven't used a green yet. I hope this one you guys can read. Now remember, again, for this triangle, the base was made using my card. So it's just 3 inches. You will notice that. You will notice a pattern there. Pay attention to the numbers. The height of this triangle is the same as the hypotenuse of the previous triangle. All right, so now let's do the Pythagorean theorem. Oops. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. Let's scribble, ignore that. 3 squared plus 27 squared equals, oops, square root of 27 squared equals c squared. 9 plus 27 equals c squared. 36 equals c squared. 6 equals c. This one I can do because 36 is a perfect square. 36 is a perfect square. Oops. So we put 6 right there. So I know that the hypotenuse of that triangle is 6. Because the hypotenuse of this triangle is 6, that means the height of the next triangle will be 6. You will notice that pattern. And then when you go over here to do this chart, this information right here is going to go over here, but you're going to round everything to the nearest decimal, to the nearest 2 decimals. The whole numbers, they're not going to be anything. So your first triangle is 3, 3, and let's get their calculator. Here's my calculator. You can use the one on your phone too. So let's see here. The square root of 18 for this one. 18 equals 4.242. That 4 stays where it is. So it is about 4.24. So this is 3. We already know that the square root of 18 is about 4.24. So now let's do the next one. The square root of 27. Square root of 27, 5.196. This 6 right here tells me I have to round the 9 up. You have to round appropriately. So this actually rounds to 5.2. So for the next one, triangle 3 is 3, 5.2, and 6. All you are doing is you are converting these to decimals to rewrite over here. That's all you have to do. And then we will look at how to fill out this side of the chart in just a little bit. All right, I hope that was helpful. I really do. Hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, make sure you ask during class. And I look forward to seeing your finished products. Make sure you write neatly so I can read them. Bye, guys.